warm. You know, you got to make a stand. You know, and this, the way this is going, it's like it's snowballing. It's out of my hands. You know, when I told people, people always ask, well, where do I start? Well, you start look in the mirror, and you see who do you see in the mirror? You see yourself. Where do I start? Start right on your street. That's what we did. We started right here. That night, when I heard the gunshots, and I came outside and saw my son already dead. You know, he wasn't dying. He wasn't gasping for breath. He was dead. You know, and I tell people, you know, it is what it is. This is devastating on us. Every time we come outside that door, you know, I saw him laying here. That's all I see, 24 hours a day, and it's really bad on your soul, and you realize that you have a soul. Sometimes people don't understand that they have one. They say, you know, I'm hurt to the bottom of my heart. When you really hurt like that, you actually feel that spot, and that's what we feel as a family. And the only thing that gives us strength is Jazz's memory, you know, and we knew what he was all about. We knew the dreams that he was chasing, you know, we knew that he saw life after 18. You know, you hear so many stories about people saying, well, I'm not going to live to be 21 or 18 anyway, so they don't care. But he knew. Yeah. He knew. He bought into it. He knew he was going to college. He didn't do 17 years of hard work. I mean, hard. You know, he was playing football, basketball. He would go to a game on Friday, football game, and then Saturday morning we'd have a basketball game. And the people who know him know that. You know, he had track meets. You know, he had to go to basketball practice, football practice. And he had to be eligible for these teams. You know, you can't just play unless you're eligible. You know, you have to have a certain grade just to be on the team. And you know, it's hard on the family when we have to deal with Jazz being gone. You know, we still don't even believe he's gone. You know, every day we wake up and it's like, man, you know, you feel your body inside, you're just tired because you're thinking he's coming back. I mean, you just can't understand. You ask yourself, why did this happen? I mean, what did we do? You know, did we do something wrong, Lord? Did we cause this? I mean, you know, the boy was coming home. He wasn't headed out to a gang summit or a drive-by. You know, he was, you can see where we live 3 houses down. He was coming home, you know. He liked coming home. I tell people all the time that, you know, Jazz liked coming home. You know, he liked his family. He liked, you know, I can tell this story all day sometimes, but when I start dealing with my feelings, you know, I see that I'm still raw, you know, because, you know.
God bless you. God bless you.
Man, it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
God bless you.
All this time he's been gone.
God bless you.
You know, and we didn't plan for this. You know, we had plans. We had plans, you know. I mean, 17 years, that's hard. Trying to get your kids to 17 and to still never been arrested. You know, never been in any gangs, never been in the school police office. He just didn't do that kind of stuff, you know. He was just one of those kids that wanted to do something with his life, you know.
God bless you.
And it hurt so deep. Because, you know, I'm sorry, but sometimes it just hurts. You know, we just trying to make it day by day is just the worst. It's the pits, you know, and I know we're not the only family in this big city that's going through this. That's the bad part. Some people have to just hold it in and they just go home and they just deal with stuff, you know, and they're not getting it out, you know, and that's why we feel we're being led on this fight, because it's just so much injustice out there in the world. And, you know, once you get into this political realm, now I'm not a politician. Last thing on my mind, I tell everybody, we had this little spot.
Yeah.
In this big world. I mean, you know, look at the house. It's a nice size house and all that, but compared to the world, it's so little. It's just as little. That's all we had. And for this to happen like the way it happened, it's just bizarre, you know. It just doesn't even make sense. how you can be doing all these things to try to better yourself, and you're walking down the street and some crazy, like I tell people, I tell it like it is, I'm not the politician. I'm not trying to be politically correct. I just say what it is, I mean, he was murdered by illegal alien, that happened to be in the gang. Now, that's not a put down on all the illegal immigrants or illegal aliens or undocumented workers. Everybody say what they feel, We're not putting down everybody. We know there's decent people that are here illegally, but they're not out there murdering people and robbing and stealing and raping. But you got to understand, there are people out there like that. This is evidence. I tell people, if this doesn't wake you up to death, then nothing will. I mean, that's real. We dealing with this real death. I tell people, you know what? We have a PhD in death.
That's right.
We've been thrown into this, and we've learned so much about death. I've had 3, 4, maybe 500 people personally talk to me about my uncle, my aunt. I done heard every relative that's been murdered. A lot of them by illegal aliens or illegal, people. When I say people illegal, it's not just saying Latino people. I mean, we have illegal black people. We have people in the country illegally, white, Asians. It's the whole world is having problems right now. And the only way we're going to deal with these problems is that people have to quit hiding.
That's right.
I mean, you can always tell who the real people are, Once we got this PhD in death, your spirit just works differently. Your mind, you're using part of your brain that you never knew you had. Because the only way you get it is when something tragic happens to you, like Jazz being murdered. He didn't just die, He didn't just die. He didn't, no one deserves to die, but we know that happens. We know that happens, and we can't do nothing about that. I always told Jazz, Chief Baca, when we were in Compton, and we were in a meeting, and I could really feel his heart. I mean, everybody has a job to do. I have a job to do. I'm sure everybody doesn't like what I'm doing. But you can't worry about that when you're on the side of good and bad. I'm on the good side.
Yeah.
I can't be worried about people on the bad side. Because if we can get everybody on the good side to come together, it'll take care of that. And and Chief Baca made a statement that when there's all the crimes that are being committed in the world and in the city, and murder, that's the one thing you can't fix.
No.
I mean, you can atone. You tell people, I'm sorry for stealing your purse, or I'm sorry for, every other crime. If you shoot somebody, you don't kill them. You can still say, I'm sorry. You can try to be a different person. You still got to pay the cost for what you did, though. What you did is bad. But when you kill somebody, man, you take away their soul. It's awesome. And when I heard Chief Baca talking like that, I could feel. Because people don't talk like that all the time, When we got this PhD in death, we can feel people, I mean, I don't have to believe everything that you say and what you believe in.
Right.
But you have to believe in life or death, good or evil, right and wrong. And the people who are trying to do the right thing or on the side of good, they're doing something. And if you look past everything about them and look at their heart, you find out that, the heart is what really counts. If you change someone's heart, then you change their mind. If you go for their mind first, it's never going to work. Because you have to touch people, and I realized that because my heart got touched bad, And we have people in this city that are struggling with illegal immigration, and we know it's a problem. We can't sugarcoat that, and we know something has to be done. You can't sugarcoat that. So what are you going to do? Just let it keep happening? We're going to wait until people are murdered just to get justice? The guy who murdered my son allegedly was in the system. I mean, he was a bad kid. Why? Who knows? All we know is what happened. He was so crazy that all he wanted to do was kill. He was out of jail 24 hours. Come on. 24 hours. The average person that just got out of jail should be happy to be free. I mean, you're sitting there in bondage. You're in